Live from Shaw Cable with our continued presentation of the election night coverage here in Nelson. With me in the studio once again is Nelson Becker, publisher of the Kootenai Weekly Express, and Margaret Stacey, manager at the Capitol Theatre. Welcome, Margaret.
Hi, Heather.
Thanks for coming.
Hi. Really welcome to you, you know. We've been talking with lots of different people, ex-mayors, ex-mayors to be.
I've been watching some of it.
And very interestingly, we asked Gerald Roddering, we said, well, what do you feel out of all your term here in office has been the most important project that you've been involved in? And he had spoken about different projects that he had worked on in the community and how he tried to revitalize the community. But the one thing that he brought up that he said was the most important thing was the Capitol Theatre.
Oh, Gerald. Oh.
And he talked about it, he said, it is a place of class, and it is a place where the community is drawn together.
Well, we'll try to carry the torch. Gerald's been at it a lot longer than I have on this particular project, and try to keep it the way he'd like it then.
Mm-hmm.
So you've been with the Capitol about 2 years now, isn't it?
2.5, April 1988.
1988. Yeah, a lot of changes have happened since then. I mean,
we've come a long way.
Yeah, you certainly have.
I think I remember getting into the office the first day and thinking, my own office. Where should I start decorating? We didn't get to decorating till this year. We didn't do any of that. We got to work on the nitty-gritty of programming, which of course hadn't been done before. It had been restored, and the programming was new to everybody. We had a new board and a new manager, a new building. It was all new. So it's been a big job.
Now, at the beginning of this whole job, I mean, funding was raised through the city and through various other sources, and I don't know if you want to get into that. Oh, why not?
I can get into that.
All right.
Get into that.
Okay.
Just to set the record straight, the theater cost $1.2 million, dollars, and we rate theaters in construction as the cost per seat. So I think it came to about $2,800 per seat, which is extremely good in comparison, for example, with the Prince Rupert Theatre, which is brand new. It costs $6,500 per seat. So we did all right at the start.
Well, I have to understand these figures that you're using.
Oh, use figures.
All right.
Just a minute. Just before we get into figures, so let's go back to some figures at Central School, and then we'll get into this a little bit more.
Okay.
Seeing as I'm receiving the beam here. So, Marianne, are you there? Yeah, she's there. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, hi. So you've got some more figures for us, do you?
Well, Patrick's got some more updates, yes, and also the one table that was counting the mayor's ballots, they're having to do a recount right now. Apparently, when Janet Postlethwaite, the returning officer, went to do her final tally, the numbers didn't jive, and she's having that table do a recount. There's only 50 ballots in a package, and she feels it might only be one package that was missed, so we'll only be out approximately 50 votes. And table 1 is almost finished counting. We should, in a few moments, be able to tell pretty clearly who the next mayor is going to be. But for now, Patrick, you have some updates from the regional district?
Yeah, actually, I've got school board first, if that's all right. Around school district, that's school district number 7. We've got area E. Evelyn Bradford got in by acclamation. Area F, we've got a final total there. We've got Carol Mann with 406. Patty McMillan with 275. Doreen Pierce, 288. Area G there hasn't been a final there yet. And Area H, which is the Slocan Valley, we've got Penny Tees with 338. And we've got Pam Ball with 252.
Thank you, Patrick. Now for the regional district final results, I believe you have.
Yeah, for the regional district, we've got, in Area A, we've got Larry Brierly. Area A is Creston, I believe, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. It's 302 for Brierly. Area B, we've got Elvin Masuk with 497. Those are both final results. Area C and Area D were both acclamation, and I'm afraid I don't know who they were. Area E, we've got Josh Schmink, who's the incumbent, and Richard Bridge, a orchardist from Proctor. Schmink got 538, and Bridge had 203, and that's a final result.
Area D is George Katie Patrick.
That's right. It is. Area F, we've got Dick Hamakawa and Verl Fossey. Fossey has 345, and Hamakawa with 285, and that's a final result. Area G and H were also acclamation. Area I, they're still waiting for results from that one, and that's Area I is Castlegar, and those aren't in yet. Area K, we have Williams and Klughammer. Klughammer had 221 versus 125, and that's a final result. And as Marianne was saying, the mayoral candidates, one of the tables is recounting, so we don't have a final yet for there, but hopefully we'll have those soon. And the city school trustee we also don't have an update on yet.
Okay, thank you, Patrick. I've just been told that Table 1 has finished counting their results. We'll check back with them as soon as we leave off the air down here, and hope to get back to you, Heather and Nelson, in about 5 minutes.
Okay. Thank you, Marianne.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay.
So if I can get back to, you were talking about how inexpensive it was to make this theater compared to other communities that have built theaters and used a per seat
expense count. There are many new theaters going up across British Columbia. It's a new thrust. Each community wants its new theater, and the Department of Communications and the federal government is assisting those, and the provincial government has been helping as well. Usually third each, and the community does the other third, or finds its money through foundations to make up its third. So that's how the facility was funded, and we came in rather cheaply in comparison with many of these facilities that are coming up.
You mean like, so we have 425 seats
divided into
how many dollars? Okay.
Yeah, that's how you work it.
And we're seeing in the the pretty near future that that debt is going to be finished.
There was a little bit of an overrun on debt. I think when they were just doing the final touches, they needed to fund about $60,000 worth more things to make the fire marshal happy, and we have, in the last 2.5 years, reduced that debt of $60,000 by $22,000. So we're committed to pay back $10,000 per year on that, and have been doing so. So, and it's something we are committed to as a priority. When that's finished off, then we can put money into into more programs in the theater, and hopefully not require much from the community at all. But on the other hand, you can't get any other provincial funds particularly. I know the province has told us that don't bother to ask us for money for anything unless you have some kind of show of community support in your funding, in your budget. And so
we hope that support continues.
Until
when you say community support,
support
you
has
mean
to
from
be
the municipal government
support,
right?
Yeah. Okay.
Because there's obviously a lot of community support for the.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Do you know how many people have used the theater in the last? How many times people have walked through the doors in the last year?
Well, I don't actually have a little clicking thing right there.
But
on the other hand, I do head counts at every performance, and it comes out to 35,000 a year, which is it's a nice, comfortable. I think you have something.
It sounds like we do. It sounds like we're getting a final on the mayor. Is that true, Marianne? Marianne, are you there?
She doesn't have her earphone in.
Oh, there she is. Just putting it in now.
Hi, Marianne.
Yes, hi, you guys.
Do you
Is it-
have a final count there?
Well, not finally yet, as I mentioned, Table 2 is still recounting. I
Oh, okay.
understand there can only be a difference of 25 votes, so it really won't matter in the final count.
Okay.
And it looks like Bill Ramsden is our Nelson mayor.
Wow.
Came in at 977 votes, with Sharon Heflin at 885, Stan Grill at 805, and Sandalane at 201. Again, these are not accurate counts until we have Table 2 who has finished doing their recount. Patrick, do you want to have anything to say on that?
Well, it was, from the beginning it looked as though it would be a very narrow, a very narrow race, and I was predicting a narrower gap between the two frontrunners, but I did win my bet on who that Bill Ramsden would win, and later on hopefully we'll be able to have a chance to I'll have a chance to go down and talk to the new mayor, and possibly we'll have some pictures and a story with or an interview with the new mayor and the Nelson News on Monday afternoon.
Wonderful. Thank you, Patrick. Even though it's unofficial until Table 2 is in, it looks like Bill Ramsden is mayor. I'll repeat the numbers one more time. Bill Ramsden, we show at 977 votes. Sharon Heflin at 885 votes. Stan Grill, 805. And Sandalane at 201.
Okay. Marianne, will you keep those figures for us too when it's all finally done?
Sure will.
And the other thing is, what's happening with the aldermen yet? Do we, anything?
Those tables are just finishing up. We should have those shortly. And the race with the school trustees, which is very close for the top 4, it looks like that's just finishing up as well. So we'll be back to you as soon as we have some idea there.
Okay, thanks very much. Okay, thanks.
Bye-bye.
Thanks. Okay. So this looks like this, the count is just about finished, and I think before I'm going to have to kind of rush you along a little bit, Margaret, because we want to get Pat Murphy in here too. Is there something you'd like to say before we say adieu?
Do you have, to be more specific, do you have some good advice for this new mayor and council, whoever they are, and Bill Ramsden, of course?
First of all, I think politics is more theatrical than theater.
You're
Yes.
right.
It's higher adrenaline levels all around, and just reminds me of backstage every night.
Yeah.
And good advice. I would like to see them all seek consensus. I'd like to see them pursue integration of all arts, recreation, and business in the community. I'd like to see much more communication between the different facets of the community, and I'd like to be part of that.
Great.
On behalf of my board of directors.
Great. Thank you very much. Did you want
Thank
to say
you.
more?
No, I'm all right. Thank you very much, Margaret.